All right, we are live. We're going to be doing something a little different today. Maybe, I don't know. It's different. So I'm kind of testing a few things out here. One, I'm trying a different encoder, streamer, different workflow setup. So maybe I just delete this after, but mainly just trying to kind of clean things up on my workflows and just make them more efficient. I know on my encoder, some people were saying that they had issue with specifically sometimes like this screen I'm on now with not high contrast, but just this like a Nordish theme was actually causing some problems with the encoding was flickering because of the compression done through like YouTube or Twitch. And I wanted to kind of tinker and play with that a little bit, try and clean up the audio quality, because a lot of the like enhanced broadcast, a lot of the auto tools available, I just don't think they're very good, and I think I can do a better job. So if I think I can do a better job, time to take a swing, you know? So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. Funny thing here, let me pull up Twitch chat just to see you guys pop in. Very entertaining. Well, good to hear. So that's what I try and do. The worst case I could ever have is someone saying, "Damn it, Titus, you're boring." I'd rather you say, "You hate my guts, you hate the way my face looks," than to be like, "Yeah, you know, it's all right." And I'm not too afraid to try new things too. I think it's really important to try new things and challenge your beliefs, your expectations. I think that's a really important thing and something I try and do personally. Speaking of which, that's why I kind of been retooling things. I was like, let me try macOS more, see if I can't make it better or good, because the default experience for Mac I just think is awful, and I say so as much on tomorrow's YouTube video. Actually, the title of the video is macOS defaults is terrible, because they are. I think they just are the worst defaults out of any operating system. And y'all know how much I absolutely hate Windows defaults from the stock. I think Mac's worse. I really think Mac defaults to just such a bad state. So it's kind of what I'm thinking, you know. Still on Mac a couple. I saw that bloody. I thought a couple days of good sleep and water would cure that. Yeah. So yeah, it's funny. I'm gonna blow it up a little bit, but I think I can get the one thing about Mac I have to say, which is good and positive, is it's a very like consistent experience across the board, no matter where I'm at. And the battery life on their laptops is world class. Those two things are very, very important to me, especially today, where I really like replicating certain things so I can get in a structure and just be able to do things well and be very consistent with the product I produce, whatever that is. And Mac, I think, is a good environment for that. But man, there are definitely some things. I'm just like, ooh, I don't know if I can get through it or not. I feel like it's been a decade since I stopped getting your videos in my feed. Out of the blue, I decided to just enable Twitch notifications. Oh, PSI. Yeah, I mean, YouTube's interesting. It kind of comes and goes, you know. It's not bad, but yeah, I haven't been putting in the effort really on YouTube, where it's like, okay, I need to crank out a whole bunch of videos. For a while there, I think it's sometime in about 2020, I really thought, hey, I'm going to be a full-time YouTuber. And I think it was around 2023, 2024. Yeah, it was 2023, actually. I think LTX, when I met a whole bunch of YouTubers and was able to hang out with everybody and see like LTT's setup and all that. And I realized I don't really want to be a full-time YouTuber in that respect because of sponsorships. If you're unfamiliar, like, sponsorships are like the lifeblood of most YouTubers, right? And I can't emphasize how true that is today than any other time in the past. Sometime in 2020, I had some times where I was making 5,000 or 6,000 a month, and that's roughly probably around 60,000 a year in just ad revenue, or close to, not quite, before taxes. Obviously there's taxes and other things that associated with that takes from that. And I was like, man, that's almost enough to where I could be full time. If I supplemented with that with sponsorships, it would be fine. But as the years gone on, I noticed like the ad rates and all this other stuff, that the games that happens on YouTube, and just general fatigue. I wouldn't even blame Google for this. It's just, you can only watch the same show so long before you're like want to change the channel, so to speak. And I looked at it, I was like, yeah, I just don't know if that'll ever really be a thing. So that's why I started doing more development type stuff. And then I was like, man, I really like making stuff. I really, really like making software, even if it sucks. I just really enjoy that process, or scripts, or whatever you want to call it. But I really like that documenting and the guide and being able to make those things. That's just so much fun. Whether it's Linux, Windows, Mac, I'll crap on them all. You know me. I always oh, I don't like this, or I don't like that. I'm gonna fix it. And there's always that going on, and I really, really enjoy that. And if it makes a video, that's cool, but it's not really the driving force anymore for me, where I'm like, oh, I have to make a YouTube video about this, and I'm like, what's my next YouTube video gonna be? It's more of like, hey, what's gonna be fun? What can I make like a guide out of that like people can get like real world value and like improve other people's lives? I think that's super important. It's just not very financially rewarding. So that's why it's like, I've kind of given up on the dream of full-time content creation in that regard. But it's not to say I would never do like full-time stuff. It's just, it would not be, I wouldn't consider myself a full-time YouTuber per se, because of, without accepting sponsorships, I'm probably about 20 or 30% of the revenue of most creators my size. So, most mid-sized creators typically get most of their money from sponsors. This is sponsored by Squarespace or BetterHelp or whatever, those types of things. And I've done a few of those sponsorships back in the day, not necessarily those brands, but and it just felt very unfulfilling, where I was like, man, I would rather do a rack and stack and be sitting in a data center for 24 hours than have to deal with the back and forth with these yahoos. And that's kind of my approach to sponsorships, and why I just don't like them. Nothing like from an ethical or moral perspective. By all means, if you can deal with sponsors, my hat's off to you. I would go rather do landscaping for someone else than that crap. And I live in Texas, where it's like 100 degrees right now. That's how much I hate sponsors. It's just, the back and forth is pretty bad. And there's some sponsors I've had good relationships with, but very few and far between. And that's where it's like, ugh. So yes, but like getting back to coding, oh man, I just love the coding. I love fun. I like having fun. I just love the coding, making something new. Speaking of which, I kind of want to try something new today too. I kind of wanted to jump in and see if we can't do something with Go and Gum. You might be thinking, Titus, I didn't know you knew how to program in Go. I don't. Never touched the language in my entire life. But with Gum, I think, how I understand it, it's more of like a dependency, and we can just build everything using scripting, which when it comes to scripting, I'm your guy. You want some full automation stuff, this guy right here has done a lot of automation. And that, I think I can get behind. So I think we might mess around with something like that, because I think I'm going to ditch the Rust foundation for MacUtil. I feel like there's a better way of doing it, and we can get around some of the shenanigans of Mac as well. What do you think of Omarchy? I think that's amazing. DHH is an amazing person, and I think I'm still in the middle of watching his Lex Freeman podcast video. It's like 6 hours long. The bro can talk, but damn it, is he energetic. Like an hour in, I was like, damn, I've already been watching this for an hour. Shit, I need to go stop this and go do something else. But I love his passion for programming. As I watched some of DHH's stuff, it almost was like, man, should I try Ruby? And then I look at the language and I'm like, no, maybe no. That's a really, Ruby on Rails. It does seem like a cool idea, and he gets me so pumped up by how he talks about it. Maybe these streams, maybe next stream, maybe tomorrow's stream, we tackle that. I think that'd be kind of funny. Go versus Rust. It depends on the project, I think. The thing that I didn't like about Rust with the binary and how it created with this is, I think when I look at it, Rust I don't think is a great one for this one, because the binary and how it's signed and how you distribute through Mac is going to be pretty restrictive, especially without a really good developer license. I could buy a developer license and I could probably do something that would be something along those lines that would be good, but I feel like we need to bypass that whole thing and go with something that's just straight up scripts, to bypass more of the Mac. Not necessarily bypass, that's probably the wrong word. Make it more accessible for more people, because I don't want people installing a ton of dependencies or having a bunch of warnings or having to like disable SIP or, do any kind of crazy setup to get their Mac in a usable state. And I'm not 100% sure, and I kind of want to just try something new just to see where we end up. But Rust is very efficient, and I do love its compiler. And I do love, like, Cargo, yes, it's slow as balls when it comes to compiling, but very verbose, and it fixes things. Like, if you do, like, Cargo Clippy, it actually changes your code and makes it more efficient and can do some really cool automated stuff, which is nice. It doesn't use AI. That's just how the compiler is built, which I think is kind of amazing. I switched to... now, is Omarchy Ubuntu only? Actually, John Carmack is working on AI now instead of VR now. He switched from VR, and now he's like working for an AI startup, I want to say, for John Carmack. John Carmack's also a legendary developer from Quake and id Software and all that. That's kind of amazing. Omarchy is the Amakub of... Yeah, let me see. What was it? It's been a little bit since I looked it up. Oh, yeah. Okay. He was on Ubuntu. It's Opinionated Arch now. Man.
On top of Arch, which basically ships with nothing in the box, and I have jammed.
Yeah, I like this setup.
It's nice to have just all these.
The tiling,
this bar up here, thing in the
like
box.
this center tiling,
jammed
not a huge fan of it.
Into the box, everything.
But maybe I need to use it before I pass judgment. I do like the minimal setup. Like when you look at his setup, I mean, just let it go away.
But as you can see, there's different ways you can set this up, mainly with the...
I like the minimal setup of like the top bar and kind of the middle here.
This
is fine. This is Pavu control.
Because this little
it's interesting
has
though.
To be clicked such that you set
Wait, what
it as
happened?
a default. And
there it goes. But yeah, I need to try it. I actually added the installer to Linutil, so it'll be interesting to kind of see. I don't like Libre Office, but as with anything in Linux, you can just uninstall it and then install probably OpenOffice would be my go-to. So that'd be pretty neat. All right, let's see what we got. So I wanted to pull up Gum really fast and see. Go Linux. Come on. All right, here we go. I'm like, I'll just add Linux to it. We're gonna still use this, but I kind of wanted to redo it in this aspect. It's going to be like a massive refactor, but I want to say we could there's just a lot of really cool options we could do from a script form with gum. That's where I'm kind of like, it'd be an easy one to bolt on to like a POSIX compliant script and still have like a lot of really cool ideas. I don't know. It might be a complete disaster. But something I was kind of thinking about. Do I want to tackle that? I don't know. Yeah, Charm Bracelet does some crazy stuff. Charm Bracelet, the one that I've used from them, the repos is VHS, and you can record like through, like on a CI, like you rebuild something, you could just do a recording of your tool, and it'll make like a GIF file for it, which is really, really cool, automatically. So you don't have to sit there and record every time you change your project. It'll just automatically update your GIF. I don't think we ever fixed that 100%, but we could. Bit rates at 59 and it's in the red. I wonder what's up with that. Okay, yeah. Still looks okay. Stream is healthy. Okay, cool. The stream's healthy over here. 6K here. I might have to switch this up a little bit and go change that. But that's okay. I'll fix that on the next one. Yeah, if you guys see it and it's working good for you, that's good. I did change some of the settings because one of the last streams you guys were looking at code. This screen specifically, how does it look to you? Are you seeing flickering? Because I noticed some of the compression in Twitch, when it gets overly compressed at lower bit rates, let's say you're watching on the phone and you're like out and about on cell signal, it's going to compress it into like a 140p or even a 360p. And sometimes you'd see this flickering throughout this entire section. So I was trying to figure out a way to kind of clean that up. It's flickering just a little bit. Yeah. I bet you Julian there is either on a low-end screen or a low-end connection, and probably the transcoding is pulling it in. And it's flickering. So you're saying the search bar up here is flickering a little bit. It's kind of weird. One thing I noticed on Mac, if you like shake your mouse, sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to it. It just like gets big all of a sudden and then goes down. Like little weird bugs I notice on Mac that I'm just like, well, that's odd. Okay, yeah, mobile's fine. Wow. And I see the flicker. Wow. It changes how strong it is on different windows. That's so interesting. So it's something with this specific color palette. And like when you come into here, you probably shouldn't see as big of a flicker. And it's not universal either. That's the other thing. So I'm having a hard time kind of troubleshooting exactly why that is the way it is. Browser's worse. But if you go with like a more high contrast, I was working on Final Cut too. I was having fun with like LUTs and other things. So I was like, ooh, that could be fun. How is this? When you have a lot of like vibrant colors, usually the compression, kind of less of the gradients, actually looks probably fine here. So this is where it's so strange. So that's where the compression of these large swaths of gradient, it almost makes me want to like do artificial backgrounds and then slowly kind of play with it. Oh man, I feel that. I feel that so it's in my soul. Mac user, yuck. We might be able to hide it. I mean, we kind of hide that we're a Mac user right now. Most people, I think, seeing this screenshot would be like, you're on Linux. But maybe we try a different theme. Like maybe go, let me see. Let me go with a different theme. Switch the color theme. So a dark theme probably. Abyss. Oh my god, no. That's too much. It's just that's just madness. That's just so K and T is what we need. Get back here. So dark modern's my technical favorite, but it's just not quite what I need. And go dark themes. My eyes. We could go light theme. Yes. There we go. That would fix it. So let's try light theme. Quiet light. Perfect. Absolutely no problems. This is perfect. What do y'all think? Oh, there we go. Just make it like a beige. That's so great. Oh, man. What about light modern? I'm awake. I don't even need to drink coffee anymore after this. Oh, my. Yes. What about light? Oh, then we get a little taste of Windows there. You're like, we're fine. Just let it flicker. That's okay. Oh, gosh. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I'll have to work on something. Maybe... Can we make our own theme? Let's look up some other themes. Surely there's a new theme. How do you install themes on this? VS Code themes. What about like a Tokyo night? So let's look. I feel like a little bit off gray would probably be best. Or a Dracula theme. I think Dracula would be good. I think there's enough changes there that maybe cause the flicker to go away. Synthwave 84. Feel like that's probably a little bit off. Tokyo Night's probably not enough. I really like Tokyo Night. Let's just try that. All right, install, trust. So let's go Tokyo Night Storm. Let's just cancel that. So this is Tokyo Night. Look at this. Flicker. What do we think? Never mind, it does. Okay. So my idea is, what about Synthwave? Let's try that next. Synthwave, I don't mind. Kind of brings me back to that. So we go Synthwave. So you got kind of a... I like the contrast here. It's interesting. Yeah. So usually the higher the contrast, the less flicker you have. It's something on how video compression works. Is at the end of the day, almost everybody, whether it's OBS, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, whatever, they're all using FFmpeg at the end of the day. Almost, it's just some kind of fancy wrapper or front end to it. So, yeah, That's interesting. Why'd you switch to Mac? I hate myself. That's why. Thought I made that. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. I got that you sent. This is the third message you've sent, Caleb. Come on now. I understand you sent me a meme. Actually, I'm sorry. That was the fourth message. Don't make me ban you. Come on. Chill out. I love you, Caleb, but come on. Oh, he makes the most project. Isn't it obvious? Oh, God. Yeah. So, yeah. Ooh. Oh, you know what we should write it in? Let's go popularity. GitHub star language popularity. So what we'll do, GitHub language stats. Let's pick something that's not popular. That way we can say we're the #1 in 2 languages on GitHub. All right, we're scrolling down here. PowerShell's 29, so it has to be below that because that took me like 3 years. All right, we could do Fortran, probably not. Pascal. Pascal's 50th. Nobody likes Pascal. What do we think of Pascal? I mean, how hard can it be? Probably actually F sharp. F sharp's not popular, and that's actually pretty new. Out of those, F sharp probably is the most attractive to me. I'm not brain damaged, so I'm not going to use Haskell. Like, have you ever seen the movie Phenomenon? It's like a John Travolta 90s flick where he's sitting there and he's like moving the pen with his mind and stuff. That's how I envision Haskell people, except they just sit there and keep waving their arms like this and the pen doesn't move. Probably 2 people that got that reference, but it still stands. Yeah, I guess F sharp is the one that sticks out here that I would be like, all right. I'm sorry if there is somebody that actually knows Haskell. Dude, my hat is off to you. I looked at Haskell and I just couldn't. I could not wrap my brain around it. I was like, this is insane. This is just an absolutely insane language. F sharp language. Let's see what Google has to say about this. All right. F sharp empowers everyone to write succinct, robust, performant code. I mean, I like that. I mean, that's godlike. And just as a general statement, I think I already love this language. So F gives you the simplicity of Python, correctness, robustness, and performance beyond C# or Java. Now, I like C# a lot. I know it's run by Microsoft, but I don't know what it is about C#. I'm not any good at it, mind you. I still just fumble around like a toddler learning to walk for the first time, but I still like C#. F# is open source, cross-platform, free to use with professional tooling. Well, that looks easy. I really like that. It's very readable. Use F# on Mac, Linux, Windows, desktop, mobile, web, Juniper notebooks. Okay. Let's learn it. Learn F#. Ground up. Okay, let's look up F# projects. So I've my take on learning programming is like a little bit different. Some people can like read the book, or some people like spend the money on those boot camp things. I think that's just all a waste of time and money. I think you just pull up like GitHub, and then let's look up F#. F# projects. All right. F# tools for working with XAML projects. Oh, that's interesting. Let's look up most popular most popular F# projects. Let's see what we got. All right. Trending projects. And then awesome projects. Yeah, I love C# too. It gets a lot of hate, but I don't know. I just really enjoy it. Okay, I think this person's website went down. Sad face. Okay, never mind. That's okay. We'll go to the next one. It was Reddit after all. Frameworks. I don't like frameworks per se. You know how like JavaScript has a whole bunch of like shitty frameworks like Svelte and React and all this other crap. It's like all just ugh. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of that. I think you got to use the core language. It's like using a Linux distribution that's like a fork of a fork. It's like, why not just use the granddaddy of all of them? Just use Debian or Arch. It's kind of how I feel like this. Anyways, I could completely, I'm just talking out of my ass right now, so don't take this as gospel by any means. Looking for things that might be interesting. So F#, general purpose libraries. When was F# created? New game engine, cross-platform F# 2D game engine built in functional style. Uses SDL2 and Farseer physics. That sounds cool. Oh, Godot. It's written in F#. Godot. All right, neat. I think I pulled up Zig a little bit. It's not great. I did not have a good time. What else is written in F#? How? So you got all the F# here. Websites. All right, cool. I want to learn more about it. Let's pull up old Jippity. When was F# created, and why do people use it? All right, functional first programming language was created in 2005. Okay, it's 20 years old. Officially released part of Visual Studio 2010. Why was it created? Designed to be fully functional programming into the .NET ecosystem while retaining support for object-oriented and imperative styles. Interesting. Functional first approach, concise, expressive syntax, interoperability with .NET. Well, that's interesting. I mean, not that I would use .NET probably on here, but I mean, you could. So, common use cases: financial modeling, trading systems, scientific computing, and web development. That's strange. What about building a GUI front end on Mac using F#? What does it think about that? Not well supported. So yeah, you could probably pull in. What? .NET 5? Man, Jippity I think might be a couple years old. I mean, shoot, it's up to .NET 9 now. The actual stable release of .NET's at 8, I want to say. Shit, it might be 9's the stable and 10's the new preview. I don't know. Anyways. Cross-platform, inspired by WPF. I'm familiar with WPF at least. Fully supports C#, though not as well documented as C#. Good performance, XAML support, active development, open source, some learning curve, limited F# specific docs. Let's look at that. Let's look that up. That's kind of crazy. Hey, welcome, Raiders. We're exploring F#, and we're gonna look at it, maybe creating a front end using it. And I was just looking at what kind of platforms we could grab from this, and see what we can throw up. I want to see what examples this has. Well, that's kind of pretty. Build apps for every device. Showcase. It's not bad. So you can do a bunch of different ones. Here, I'll turn on light mode so chat doesn't lose their mind and go, ah, my retinas. They're awful. I don't know. Am I completely crazy for wanting to try this? I know there's an easier way, but sometimes it's just fun to hack around. Might just do a boilerplate just to see what we can do. Cube UI. That is really interesting. What do we think? .NET 10 is in November. Okay. Oh, wow. .NET 9's out of support on the 26th. I did not know that. That's crazy. Yeah, still running Arch. I think I've pretty much love Arch. I still like DWM and a minimal Hyperland install. So that's kind of what I landed on. I always end up going back to DWM for the most part, although my current configuration is a highly customized KDE that kind of feels like a tiling window manager using like Cronkite plugin. It's not so bad. It's not so bad on that side of things. So I've kind of flip-flopped back and forth on my Linux. And then last week, I've been jacking around with the old macOS. I've been having fun, though. I thought the Mac, it's been very nice being able to just have the portability and just go work anywhere. And I've actually been getting a lot more work done since switching to Mac. So there's that. Calling macOS riced out Arch is a crazy thing to say. Yeah, I don't think you can consider this riced out. You just have basically a window manager, and you could either choose UI or Aerospace on macOS, and multiple different defaults that you need to change to make it somewhat functional. But the thing that bothers me the most about Mac in comparison to the Linux counterpart is the sidebar here, or I'm sorry, the dock. Making that kind of small and getting it out of the way. That's why I put it on the left-hand side of the screen. And then the top bar. I'm just not a fan. You can't really get rid of the top bar per se. You can just kind of hide it a little bit and then just use hotkeys so you don't ever see it. However, there are certain things you need to access out of that top bar from time to time, so you do have to still go up there from time to time, but not as much as you think. Hyperland on Debian is actually really good. I ran that on my laptop for almost a year. When I was using Kfocus, it was Ubuntu based. It was actually Kubuntu, but what I did is I just loaded Hyperland through that, and I ran it for a full year. It was very stable with that spin. So, very good Hyperland on Debian. It just depends on what version you're on, and I would recommend just staying with what's in the repos, as it pretty much works. Also, Waybar is not my favorite when dealing with that as well. So I just really don't like Waybar. I've really enjoyed QuickShell, and kind of sticking with my QuickShell configuration has been top notch. So highly recommend QuickShell instead of Waybar. and then kind of programming up your own bar in Hyperland. That has been the best experience from a Wayland counterpart for a more modern system, in my opinion. Installs Kubuntu not to use KDE. Well, it came loaded with it. So if you're unfamiliar, like when it comes to Tuxedo and K-Focus laptops, they typically come with their own spins, and their repos, they do locking of certain kernels. So they do all the testing for you so you don't run into bugs when you're out in the field and you go and update your system. So I know most Linux users are like, well, I just update my system all the time and no problem. Yeah, well, in laptop realm, when you have custom firmware and there's a lot of more touchy components, updating all the time is just going to lead to heartbreak eventually. That's why it's nice to have some guardrails. That's kind of what Tuxedo or K-Focus does for business users. I'm sure System 76, I've just never used System 76, so I can't really speak to that, but I'm pretty sure they would do the same thing where they control the update cycle. And it's really important to control that, not just blindly update, especially when you have proprietary things like the firmware blobs that happen in Linux that aren't open source. They're just installed. Can lead to problems. Quick Shell's about 500 megs. Yeah, it's about 500, 600 megs, so it's a little bit heavy. But I just like how modular it is. I think it's really good in that respect. All right. So we've got that. We've got this. Let's see. Out of the showcase, let's see what we're going to go with. Let's feed this in. I think we're going to do a new project. You know, let's go wild here. Let's just go completely wild. What do we have? We'll just do it. Update. Commit. Sync. Kind of wanted GitHub desktop. Did I ever sign in? Oh, I never did. One second. Let's I'm gonna just sign in real fast. We're gonna create a new branch, and I'm gonna have something. This is probably gonna end in absolute disaster, and people are gonna just facepalm left and right as they see me do this. But I think it's gonna be fun. Oh, actually, let's remove that and move that. All right, and I think we're ready. Okay, just bring this in. I'm just gonna change some settings here. I think for Git, that's fine. Shell, let's go ghosty. Accounts, that's fine. Appearance, notification, let's go dark. Prompts, advanced, and that's fine. All right, save. And we're gonna actually add an existing. We're gonna choose just a few things. We're gonna go GitHub, Mac. Add that. Fetch, and we're gonna go new branch. We're gonna call this F#. Great. I'm gonna publish this branch, and now we start ripping apart this project. Oh, it's gonna be so much fun. Okay, so we have this tabs folder, right? Let's just rename this. Rename. Let's call this scripts. Let's take that, put it in the main. Great. And we're going to delete all of this. Delete all of target. Delete the TUI. Delete
to do the binds.
Yep. Prof, thanks for the sub, man. 7 months, man. We're back at it, though. We are so back at it with everything. I am loving it. All right, publish instruction. Yeah. Delete that. Let's delete the format. Let's start front. We might figure out something. I'm going to leave those scripts in play for now. And we're not going to need this TOML file anymore. Great. So, changed a few things here. Now we're going to explore the realms of Cloud Sonnet. You're going to make a boiler plate F# project using the... This is going to be so wrong in the terminology, but I just want to do it just to see what it is. I don't know if this is gonna work, but we're gonna try. Using the I want to use showcase for the GUI that will run the sh scripts in the scripts folder. Let's see what it does. How many requests you think it's going to use? I bet you no less than 50. We're going to just sit here and watch it work its magic. Do you know YAML as it pertains to Home Assistant? No, I never really got into Home Assistant very much, believe it or not. I'm not a huge fan of automation. I like really just basic things. If we get a hello world, that'll actually be okay, Sherman. I think that would be a completely all right. All right, so it looks like it's grabbing .NET 8 for the library. It looks like it's going. What's it creating in the services directory, I wonder? Very interesting. What's TOML? Never seen that package before. Now comes the views. If this actually works, I would be totally shocked. I'd be like, AI is the future. But the chances of this working are slim. Very, very slim. Also, this is the very first time I've seen an AXAML, AXAML file. Now, I've heard XAML before, but I've never heard of it preceding an A before a XAML. Has anybody seen that? I must be just old. Yeah, Visual Studio would be ideal here, based on this project structure for F#. Although for F#, what is the I mean, I would imagine it'd be Visual Studio. It looks very similar to the structure of C#. We're also going to need to do all the dependencies for this too. I forget was it chat that said F#, or did I just pick out F# because it was super obscure? Ah, okay. XAML is a Valonia custom format. Okay, good to know. Oh, I picked it. Okay, chat's blaming me. All right. Yeah, continue iterating, man. Let's go. I'm not paying for these requests. It's on Microsoft's dime. Let's just burn through that money. Let's just spend it. Spend those requests. I'm gonna get an email tomorrow from GitHub going, we revoked your complimentary Copilot that we gave out for the public things. You did literally 2,000 requests in a single hour. That was a little excessive. Oh, more power plants. We're about to see some nuclear rig pop online from all the iterations we're gonna do here. This is gonna be absolutely ridiculous. So right now it's saying we're gonna replace some of the XAML with a simpler version that doesn't use complex converters. My thoughts exactly. Yep. Let's keep going. Yeah, let's get the Java development tool. What is the hell is this? Oh, it's just a distribution of Java. Okay, whatever. Sure. Let's go. Agree. Install. All right, Eclipse is done. Yeah, trash it. Bam. All right. What else we got? Let's get the SDK. .NET 9 SDK. Wait a second. Didn't the FS project say .NET 8? It said .NET 8, crackheads. Oh well. AI. Let's see what slop it's putting up. See what we can figure out from this. Okay. So .NET 9 was installed. Let's see. I would imagine the restore is not going to go well. Maybe. Maybe not, though. Oh my god, the build succeeded. So we ran that from macutil GUI.NET restore. Got that? Okay. Let's try and do the build. Failure. All right. Iterate for me. Fix the compilations. I wouldn't mind a few new nuclear power plants. Hey, did you guys see like the new China-based nuclear power plants? Where they use, I think it's like a combination of sand, and it's kind of a solution. So instead of like the stuff like Chernobyl kind of style, how they do it, it's completely, apparently, it's 100% safe, and there's no chance of it ever, going nuclear and blowing up. It's kind of cool. Yeah, the molten salts or something. I forget what it was called. I saw something and I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. I'm all for that. Okay, we're at 8 errors. We'll see how far it will take it. We'll let it iterate for like another 5 minutes or so. But if the errors start going completely sideways here, I just don't think it's ever going to get to a non-error state. But maybe. We'll give it a whirl. The sandbox solution that popped up. Are you working in the sandbox? So I went ahead and did like a new branch. So I don't anticipate this working. 7 errors. All right. Errors are getting less, it seems like. Although usually what happens whenever you do, like when you ever like, hey, make me a boilerplate like this complex, what usually ends up happening here is it will go flip-flap back and forth once it runs into a major problem where it just cannot iterate past that. Is it'll cause one issue and then that issue will cause another issue, so it'll fix this issue, but then this issue will pop back up, so then it fixes this issue and it causes this one to come back up, so then it becomes like this back and forth whack-a-mole. So what I'm kind of doing as I'm letting it just jam out here, I'm looking at the failure count, but if you start to see this go from 7 errors to 6 errors, as long as it keeps slowly working through some of this, I'm just going to see if it can get to a functional state, and then we'll go through and try and massage it a bit. I don't think we're going to get to the functional state, though. But this is looking up. We're down to 5 errors now. Maybe. VS Code theme. This is Synthwave 84 is the VS Code theme. Did you know ChatGPT can generate binaries and you can download
to do the binds?
Dude, that's awesome. Sup? Thanks for the sub, man. First time subscriber, too. All right. Welcome. Yeah, I've been really enjoying, though. Just kind of messing around, seeing what we can do. If we could just get something kind of functional out of this, it'd be nice. I would imagine what we'll need to do, though, is probably install Visual Studio Code, or no, Visual Studio Community Edition. Load this in. Why I don't think it's going to work is actually pretty straightforward. Let's see. Down to 1 error. Bro, let's go. Typically with this, Visual Studio Community Edition can fix up a lot of things. Like the boilerplates here, I'm just not 100% that it's going to do a decent job and we'll actually be able to build something. But I've never tried it, and I've never tried F#, so I was kind of like, let's just see what it makes. It would be fun. I feel like that is more dangerous, but certainly interesting. Yeah, downloading the binaries directly from GPT would be kind of crazy. I could just see that getting exploited so easily. So I from a security standpoint, I obviously wouldn't do that. In a lab environment, it could be fun, though. All right, here we go. Now we're starting to get some problems. All right. It's removing stuff, which is nice, and not just bloating up the entire project, so we got that going for us. We might have to start using our brain, though. There's never a spot. Usually I can go, okay, it's gotten us far enough. Let's see if we can't fix this. I don't think we will, though. I think we'll have to start from scratch, but maybe. I still am hopeful one day we'll do this and it'll work. And it will be just glorious. But the day has yet to come. Almost every time I'm like, okay, well, I think we're done with the prompt engineering. Let's actually try and read the error and see if we can't solve it a normal way. Let's see. How are we doing? It hasn't come with the same error or started looping errors yet. So we got that going for us at least. Tokens go brr. No, not my tokens, so I don't care. Brain, what's that? You know, bud, we try not to use our brain too much here. It's all about the fun. It's all about the journey, not the destination. It's all about, hey, is this still fun? And I'm like, yeah, especially since it's not my money. It's GitHub's money. Which means it's Microsoft's money. So that makes me go, let's just keep going. Yeah, continue. You're right. I mean, come on now. I'm not paying for this. Let's go. Let's see the magic of AI programming. Oh, use warp.dev. Oh yeah, for terminal. I messed around with warp a little bit. Seemed a bit slow to me. So I'm just like, each his own. Although I do like the in terminal prompts, which is kind of nice. Like when you forget a command or something, but I'm pretty damn good with terminal, so there's very few commands I actually need to look up, and usually I need to add some special options, but usually TLDR or TLDR will work for me. these commands aren't changing, but man. I said we give it 5 minutes, but it's been 5 minutes. Wait a second. Did the build just succeed? The build succeeded. Oh my word. There we go. Prompt engineering for 10 minutes. What do you all think it's going to look like? The moment of truth. Are we ready? Could not find a project to run. Oh, you got to actually get into the project and then run it. You're going to build a script. Okay. That's one way of doing it. CD. Okay. All right, we can keep that. Sure. Here we go. Now we're gonna run. This is so ridiculous. Is it already executable? You already did the chmod, dude. No, you already did that. You can. Okay, well, we'll just do it again. That's fine. All right, now let's run it. All right, running. Checking background terminal window. All right, what did it say? You must install and update .NET to run this application. I mean, we have 9. Okay, he's gonna update it to 9. Is that really gonna work? One does not simply upgrade from .NET 8 to .NET 9 without problems. But, alright, you do you. Okay. You can't do it that way. Okay, God bless. Alright, it's close. It's close.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, we're done.
The do to buy.
We're going to take it from here. It's close enough. Just in case, thanks for the sub. Here we go. Let's just take it directly. All right, we're gonna build. We do still have the build, and if we do a .NET run, holy shnikes! Would you look at that? What? Nice. I mean, I'm kind of impressed. I'm a wizard. Look at me. Wow. This is just fun. This is just fun. I don't care who you are. Let's get rid of this build GUI. This is such a pointless command. All right, let's delete that. Cool idea, but so now let's look at the structure and figure out how to add stuff to it. Well, we got AI for that too. Let's not start using our brain just yet. Okay. How do I add .sh scripts to this GUI application? Okay, the GUI reads the TOML configuration files to organize scripts into categories. Let me check the structure. TOML data, great, add that to TOML. Now we already had the structure from linutil. If we go into the scripts, I think it's going to have to be compiled with it in the macutil GUI directory. Before we do any of that, that's stupid. All right. You're doing so well. Let's just calm it down. Creating that executable is not going to do jack. The problem resides in the scripts folder being at the root, where the compile, where the .NET build happens in the macutil GUI subfolder. So, yes, I'm absolutely right. I know, I'm so smart. It's so much fun. All right. But the scripts are actually in the parent directory. Let me fix that. Fix the path in the script service. I see the issue. Path ... scripts. But let me check to see if the issue, how we're resolving the directory when running .NET run. The current directory should be the macutil folder. Going up, it goes and finds the script folder. So it's going to rebuild and test. Oh no, we should have checkpointed that. Damn it. This is why you use Git when you're doing AI, because sometimes it's magic or tragic, but it could totally break. Let's just undo that. Wait. Does it still work? Okay, it still works. And if we do a .NET run. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, it's fine right now. So what we're gonna do right now is just go, oh, leave stupid dog. All right, we're gonna go initial F# slop. Boom. Commit these 2,536 files. Yes. Tragic or magic is true. But this is why you learn Git. It's totally why you do Git. Git is absolutely amazing. Like, it's straight up magic. Like, everyone's talking about AI, but to me, I couldn't live without Git. Git is just so incredibly amazing. Like, how we functioned in the programming realm without Git is just blows my mind. And I'm just like new to Git too, so I'm by no means have a base level of competency with Git is what I would be comfortable saying. All right, let's go. All right, that's great. Cool. All right. There's a TOML parsing issue. TOML library doesn't support arrays of complex types directly. Let me fix your TOML parsing by using a list instead of arrays. Let's see that change really fast, just so we can see what the hell it's doing. Let's go. So here's our F#. Gonna go list instead of an array for all of it. I mean, dude, how this language looks is so cool. I really like F# how it looks. I feel like this is my new language. Now, mind you, I don't know shit about it, but other than the way it looks, and I kind of dig it. Doing the list map there. Okay. Yes. It's wrong. Why can't it see like that? One, we want it POSIX compliant. We don't want bash. It's not like Mac users even use bash anymore. So that's fine. Come on. Come on, do better. Check in VA. 1 second. And then let's make the function. Yeah. Yes. That's what I wanted. That all looks pretty good, but just to make sure it's not hallucinating. You know, just to make sure. What's that? Okay, cool. It's not hallucinating for once. Yay. All right, that's the proper syntax. Now, that's perfect. We got that. Let's look at the TOML data. That's fine. And then if we look at this one and tab data, let's add context. Yep. Check TOML syntax and verify. There looks to be task underscore list, which is not needed as a key value. Everything else should be fine. We should see all the task lists get erased in a perfect world, and then kind of cleaning up that. Yeah, let's clean those. It's gonna clean that up on the F's. The parse here, yep, that's fine. And then it needs to go back to the TOML file. Okay. Let's look at the TOML data. It was close. Remove all task underscore list values from tab underscore data TOML files. Trust but verify. I think that's the old saying, right? Oh. All right. We might need to take matters in our own hands here. Yeah, I've never really messed. I've heard of F# a little bit, but not really messed with it at all. But as I look at like the syntax and how it kind of threw things up, I really, really like it. If you're unfamiliar with like C#, there's like a lot more classes, and it seems like there's a lot more boilerplate, where F# seems much more succinct. And I personally really liked C# because originally, I'm not a programmer. Let me first just say that. I know I have decades of experience in scripting Whether it's VBS scripts, Bash scripts, PowerShell scripts, that's my jam. But I don't consider that programming. And I don't really consider like PowerShell or Bash or any of that actual languages. I feel like that's just a form of scripting, which is a whole different thing. Before, in the late 90s, I did do some C++, and that was kind of my jam. However, I don't remember any of it. That was more than, dude, it was almost 30 years ago now. Damn, I do have a lot of gray hair. but yeah, all right, cool. Well, the test list looks better now. That's nice and cleaned up. That looks gravy. All right. So that's nice. Nice and clean. Little extra spaces. That looks good. So applications look good. Let's look at system setup real fast. Also looks clean. Beautifulness. Beautiful. Awesome. So now when we do our task .NET build, and then we go .NET run. I'm still not seeing anything there. Error loading scripts, no parameterless construction. Huh. What's the quick command on Ghosty to copy from a selection? Anyways, let's keep going. Theme of VS Code is Synthwave 84. Cassie. This is on a there's the AI I know and love, bouncing back and forth between lists and arrays. Yeah, originally we had like an old M1, and then I was like messing around with it, and then I was like, I kind of want a MacBook. So I ran out and got a MacBook Air. They're on sale on Amazon for like $850 for an M4 MacBook Air. It's kind of nice. However, I will say the spacing is very limited. It's only 256 on the NVMe. However, I did see a YouTube video, and you could desolder the built-in NVMe drive and resolder a new one to upgrade the storage on it. So we could try that too. Maybe we do that on a live stream. I would definitely need to do that on a live stream. That would be kind of fun. All right, let's keep all that. Let's continue. All right. Yep. Type not supported. All right, so this is where we're going to get the flip-flop back and forth. I guarantee you now it's going to go, oh, it's an array, but now we need to switch it to a list. And then it's go through and say, oh, we're going to switch it to a list now. And then it's going to go back and forth. This is where the logic gets stuck with AI. Although I'm super happy with what it created. Like, this went way further than I thought it would. I'm impressed. Dan, rip Chris's new MacBook. Hey, we did do some proper hardware modification on stream before. I mean, I'm shocked it's gotten this far. I mean, the boilerplate was quite good. Here we go. Here it goes. So now it's going to update. Say, all right, let's see if it does a proper update. If it just updates the 3 specific spots again, or 4 or 5 specific spots, and it's like, oh, here you go. Which, well, that's a, oh, that is a little different. Okay, so No, no, no. Yeah, no. Just switching it from a list to a... I'll go ahead and accept it, take a list, but yeah, it's going to do the same thing. Yeah, I remember one stream we broke out the Dremel tool, and it was my son's laptop. He still uses it from time to time. It was like an old Windows 8 laptop, and it was overheating, and I couldn't get the screw off. So the screw had these it was this really tiny jeweler's screwdriver, but the problem was as I used the screwdriver and I twisted it, it stripped out the head of the screw, so there was no way to get the screw off anymore. So the best method to fix that was to Dremel a line in the screw. So not try and Dremel through the screw. Some people try to drill out the screw, but you can't do that when it's on the motherboard. Otherwise, it's going to break the motherboard. So my solution was to take the disc that cuts through metal and then take it and make essentially change the screw from a Phillips to a flathead. So you Dremel out a straight line on the screw, and then you can use an actual normal screwdriver instead of a jeweler's screwdriver, get a lot more grip and torque, and it'll actually unscrew that screw even if it's stripped out. So if you ever do have to run into that problem, it worked fantastic. Although the screen initially didn't come back on until I turned it off and actually plugged it in. For whatever reason, there was an issue when you plug the battery in, you actually need to plug it back into the wall before the screen would come on. It was a little strange, but okay, let's see. What is it doing? Let's take a different approach, more direct parsing strategy. Let me check one of the TOML files and understand the structure better. I see it now. We need to create a simpler parser that handles TOML structure more directly. Okay. I'm liking all the sea of red we're getting. So instead of the system collection generic, it's getting rid of that library. We're going to Tomlin, removing all of this, removing that. And then it's going TOML parse content, parse TOML as a dynamic table. I mean, that looks pretty good. Let's do it. I kind of digging that actually. I think it'll fail, but let's see. How is he fixing it? So the error itself was the type document could not define the field constructor or memory has diagnostics. Maybe you want the following: get diagnostics. Okay. So it looked like it hallucinated the toml.doc diagnostics. Okay. Not terrible. Build succeeded. And run. Holy shnikes. What? That shit worked. What? That is crazy. Oh my word. It worked? Now that's impressive. That's the most impressive I think I've ever seen. That's insane. Wow. All right, let's read. All right, what was build? F# Avalonia GUI application running shell scripts from the MacUtil project. We've separated the GUI from the actual scripts, so these are really easy to edit. So once the actual the main GUI is built with F#, it's only going to ever be updated with shell scripts and TOML edits. So you're never going to have to recompile again. So you can easily swap out scripts. I kind of like that approach. Now, we could probably build a singular binary, then wrap all the scripts inside the binary. It's an idea. All right. GUI interface, script organization from TOML, one-click execution, path resolution, error handling, target implementation using F# of Lonia UI version 11 with .NET 9. Architecture MVVM pattern with view models and services. TOML parsing. Dynamic parsing using TOML library without strict type binding. Script execution using bash. And proper working directory permission. We might switch this like POSIX compliance. I'm not sure we want to use bash to necessarily launch it, but it does work. So the next thing, I kind of like when we do a publish to a binary, where's the output? Let me ask. We do a .NET publish to a binary. Where is the output? No, that's not what I need. I should have phrased it better. By output, I mean the terminal output from the scripts that run. Oh, commit. Thank you. So important. It works. Uh-oh. Did it? Did I get it before it changed is the question. Because we are changing a few things on the output here. View model, script output. Sometimes I like using GitHub Desktop. It does a great job of visualization. I know you can do the same thing with like the diff over here using the GitHub folder. Well, usually what I do is I work directly off of my network drive. So I've built a file today and I used about 10 gigs. Although I think I used the incorrect compression and codec. So I was using 264, I want to say, for the codec. And Macs don't like that. Macs really like ProRes. So probably need to switch that out. Okay. So if we go GitHub Desktop. Bro. That is crazy. Yeah, that is just very impressive. All right, now let's publish command to generate a distributable binary. This says x64. Binary should work on ARM systems using Apple Silicon. Okay, cool. So we're going to be using OS X ARM64 instead of OS X X64. Correct the publish command. Does anybody use Intel? I kind of feel like the people doing virtual machines. You know what? Create sh script that publishes both x64 and ARM. Oh yeah, we still need to keep these changes. Alright, so it should create this publish script. Okay. Perfect. Keep. Go ahead and make that executable for me. Oh god, you know what? Oh, gross. I just remembered. What's our GitHub repo look like? Oh, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Damn it. Published all the bin and debug and crap in here. Oh well, that's okay. Let's clean up our git publishes by omitting the builds and debug information for F. Or fix the root dot git ignore. Didn't even think about that. Rookie mistake, man. Rookie mistake. Let's clean that up so it's it only has rust entries. My bad. No, we're not gonna do a hard reset. This is a whole branch. So I didn't actually anticipate this working. I think we're gonna just overwrite the main branch though. I think we're just gonna pull this in and just say, hey, massive nuke the world PR, and then just wipe everything out. And I mean, all that Rust boilerplate was just coming from Linux utility anyways, so it's not like we lose anything. There are some things during that build process and changes, like using Cargo Clippy and some of the updates we've done. I probably need to do that on the Linux utility, but yeah, you know, we'll get it. Let's see.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
Okay, that looks good. Word, thanks for the sub, man. 4 months. Man, I'm gonna be streaming a lot more. I am having so much damn fun. You know? It's just so much fun. Oh, man. This is nice. So we're going to omit the bin, object, dist, and publish folders. I like all that. Great. Keep. Okay. Perfect. Let's go get stat. Perfect. Let's remove all those. All right. See their status now. That looks good. One more thing we need to do. git ignore. No, we don't want to ignore that actually. Yeah, let's not do that. Oh, wait. Nah, it's fine. We'll just self-commit those. But the thing I was looking at, yeah, so the dash bin directory, it's getting rid of all of those. Getting ready for a publish. Let's go ahead and do a commit. Push. Then we're going to refresh our repo on the website. And we're going to go Mac. Let's reload our repo. We're going to have to change all the CI for this too. Maybe not today. But, man, is it getting kind of cool. This is all wrong. We'll have to change that too. So we have that. Views, view model, services, modules. Oh, chef's kiss. Yes. Dang. Now that's cool. Hell yeah. All right.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
Dork, thanks for the sub, man. Whoa, we're making moves today. We are making moves today. If a noob like me can do it, why aren't you making stuff right now? That's all I gotta say. This is insane. Just absolute pure insanity. Oh my god. All right, we gotta make the first creator milestone. What is today? 2025. Oh, nope. Nope. Oh, wrong. I gotta get used to this keyboard. All right, 2025. The great year of 2025. July, which is 07 21. Claude Sonnet 4 makes boilerplate code for the project. That's insane. Absolute insanity. All right, great. Contributors. Let's clean that up. This is all wrong. We don't have any documentation. Toml actually is okay. Supports this. We don't have any available options yet. We'll build that out. We're not building in Rust anymore, nor are we doing cargo. I do love Cargo's publish command though. We'll figure all that out later. Installation, good luck. We will get this Mac command going though, and we'll do a script for that launching. Dev branch not set up. Stable branch will be something like along these lines for direct launch. Distro agnostic, that's funny. All right, delete that. We're just cutting out some of it. We're not going to be publishing with crates or the AUR. We'll leave versioning and also GitHub downloads. All right, that looks good. Let's also do a publish really fast. Oh wait, we got to catch up with Twitch. Oh my God, we got another raider. Low-key Abu, thanks for the raid. I am doing fantastic today. We just had Cloud Sonnet build an entire boilerplate in F# using Avalonia UI, and it actually worked. It's the first time I ever had AI actually build a boilerplate and not completely shit the bed. So, kind of amazing, not gonna lie. And we fed it a whole host of bash scripting, and I already had kind of a framework built out with the bash scripts to just run to fix up Mac systems. And the Toml system references all the things. So the binary we built with F# essentially just reads the toml and then the bash scripts and then executes them seamlessly in a perfect world. Although we haven't tested it on like remote systems to see how security settings, if SIP gets triggered, there's all kinds of things that goes into it. But my word, absolute sorcery, complete insanity, man. But yeah. Intel Mac OS will be Tahoe, going to the last version supported. Oh man, rip Hackintosh users. Oh, I know. I get it. I totally understand the sentiment. Although I still have my Xeon system over here, so it's not like I formatted my drive or anything. This is just a little MacBook Air, so more for fun and portability. My baby over here is still kicking. I still got the 32 threads of amazing Xeon performance that we use all the time with Linux and Windows alike. Absolutely just a beast of a system. So that's still going. Love your YouTube videos. Been following for years. You've done a lot of Linux and Windows stuff. Seeing you branch out of Mac OS is cool. Good to hear, man. I have a video launching tomorrow, and it's called Mac OS Defaults Are Terrible. And it essentially goes through and says, it's insane. I think my tagline at the very start, and I thought about this, and this might have been a little too aggressive, but gotta add a little flair for YouTube. It was Apple essentially designed Mac OS after smoking a bunch of crack and cocktailing it with some LSD and getting addicted to animations. And that is the stock default Mac OS experience. Just everything has animations. If you can animate it, they're going to animate it. If you can't animate it, they're going to figure out a way to animate it. And just waste your time. Oh my God. Oh, I can't stand. Absolutely can't stand that. So, yeah. So a lot of the fun, like cool things about Mac, a lot of people probably like, I hate. So what I've done is essentially was like, can we turn it into like a Linux? Like turn Mac OS essentially into a Linux kind of counterpart with like a tiling window manager setup? Answer is surprisingly yes, for the most part. And I'm actually kind of enjoying it. Oh God. See, I'm not the only one. There's going to be somebody that watches tomorrow's video and go, totally agree, Titus. I think I'm expecting a lot of hate on that video though. And that's okay too. But my God, so essentially I think it ended up being 15 minutes of me ranting and raving about just ripping apart. And then like the last 2 minutes, I'm like, but Mac does have great battery life and a reasonable update cycle. So it's pretty reliable in that respects. So that was like I sat there for like 12 minutes just completely ripping apart all the defaults they set and how stupid it is that they set them like this and how to revert or change or different alternatives. And then finally at the end, I'm like, but their hardware does have good battery life and the update cycle worked pretty darn good. So that's me being positive. And honestly, the Unix coming from Linux to Mac, it does not feel that bad once you get rid of all the ugly coding that I don't like of Mac and kind of place it with all my preferences. It's really, really nice. So yeah, I really enjoy that. Yeah, no dispute their laptops are top tier, but for the love of God, why ruin it? Yeah. I don't understand. So it's not timings. It's the fact there's an animation period. I hate that. Like, there should never be an animation. Like, when you click on something, like, we'll just open Moonlight, sure. Like, It should just open. There doesn't need to be like a whole song and dance the icon does. It doesn't need to do a jig in the dock for me. I clicked it. I know I clicked it. It's gonna open. And then I just want it to close, which these buttons might as well not even exist because they don't even do what the hell they say they do. So just hotkey everything. Hotkey everything. Get rid of these stupid 3-colored stoplight buttons that just suck. Hopefully you never hit the full screen button, God forbid, and then you're stuck in this god-awful whatever. Just no. Just no. That's awful. The person that developed that should be feeling bad about life, and yet they probably got their own private yacht, and they're sailing away, and they're retired by this point, and they're still using this shit. And I'm just like, bless. Anybody can be good at tech. I'm just saying, like, the one thing Mac does is they're really good at marketing. Really, really good at marketing and believing that people wanted this shit and that it was actually good design. It was never good design. No one ever liked it. And the window management in Mac is just atrocious. You should feel bad if you like this. Yes, you're wrong. Yes, you need to go look in the mirror. Maybe not do drugs. Those are bad. Drugs are bad. Don't eat drugs. So that's my saying. Like, oh my God, there's just so much to pick on here. And then I think I go into Finder too. I mean, the defaults of Finder. Oh God. Just, this is by far the worst file manager ever to exist on planet Earth. Give me a terminal one that just can copy and paste shit. I just can't with Finder. It is awful. And it pollutes networks all across the world with its stupid .ds store files. So then Mac users can come in here and go, oh, I had an icon view. But it's a freaking network share, so if there's more than one Mac folder, it just like, just no. Network shares should never, ever, ever contain a DS store file. And you should feel bad if you're a Mac user and you create DS store files and network shares. You're the problem. Full stop. You can actually turn that feature off, by the way. But the fact it's the default. It's just like, oh, God, why? Why? Why are you like this, Apple? Anyways, that's just like some of the rants I go on in that video. Just a little taste of what's going on. Full screen zaps when you get on, when you do drugs. Agreed. Or if you're on drugs and you hit the full screen app, you just can never leave the app because you're like, I can't find the button again. I mean, bringing Thunar to macOS, I'd be the first one to sign up for that, Dan. I think we wouldn't be the only ones using it either. So yeah. Wayland's just a protocol, so you just port Hyperland to Mac and Windows? Yeah. So you have to have access to the underlying display rendering that happens for that compositor to work. So yeah, like Hyperland's a compositor, and you think Mac or Microsoft or Apple or any of the companies are going to allow you access to that? As I said earlier, don't eat drugs. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm just poking fun. I love you, Bill. Windows you could. Yeah, maybe even still. It's just like Windows, there's a lot of the system modifications you can make, it's not worth doing. Much like Hackintosh and a lot of the modifications you can make in Mac. Like a lot of my modifications, I think I've gone too far with. And I think on the next big update, Mac's or Apple's going to basically force me to re-enable SIP or system integrity protection. And when that re-enabling happens, it's going to break some of my scripts probably. So I've got to figure out a better way. But that's the fun of it. That's the fun of it, is to build. Can you not build Thunar from source? Just hasn't. Maybe. So I don't know. Yeah, I know nothing about Finder, but Windows File Manager is able to take 10 seconds to load in certain directories. Yeah, Finder's worse. Finder's worse in every way, Phoenix. I would prefer Windows File Manager every single day of the week over Finder. My absolute disgust and hate of Finder there is no bounds to how bad it is. I mean, any file manager I would prefer over Finder. It's bad. Switch it off and it's great. File Pilot. What's File Pilot? File Pilot for the win. Let's see. The next gen File Explorer. Oh, I remember trying this out. That's cool though. Yeah. I installed that a little bit. Kind of messed around. Yes. Agreed. Finder is hot garbage. Bud. Pin. It deserves a pin. Absolutely. My thoughts exactly. Oh, man. Oh, God. I love it to death. What do we do here? Oh, we edited the README. Publish that. Now, did we ever do the publish? Oh, we forgot to do the publish. We gotta do the publish. Wait, what was the publish? Oh, publish was here. Okay. Let's build our publishes. I'm just kind of curious to see what happens if I publish a version 0.02. Okay, so we have ARM and x86. It did build for both. That looks relatively good. God, God, I'm gonna buy a F# book tonight. The fact this even worked is just really, really good. So let's come on over to GitHub. Well, let's first check the binary on my system. I think it'll work on my system, but probably not on your system. Because there's probably some more publishing and different things I'm going to need to do to make this fully functional. But let's just see. Mac util. Let's go into probably bin release.net. How strange. So there's these libraries. I wonder what's in here. Oh, okay. It's just a little bit different, isn't it? So you got the Mac GUI. Now, normally I would do like Visual Studio for this, but what we can do instead, let's pull up the FS project. Now, I'm not familiar with F#, but I'm somewhat familiar with C#. So let's just consolidate here. Make a self-contained executable binary without any loose files. Let's see. Let's see if it can do that. So it's going to do publish single file true, self-contained true, publish trim true, publish ready to run true, and then enable compression in a single file. I like all that. Okay. Let's keep that. Keep that. It did actually already have that single file in there. I will add the compression. Let's just see what the build process looks like. It should run into VM in macOS. So that's why I wanted to build the x86 counterpart and not just the ARM. So I'll have two binaries, one for ARM systems, which is Apple Silicon, and then also the x86 for those that want to just use virtual machines. All right, let's improve project file for single file configuration. Let's see what it changes. Let's not get too crazy here. What other is it doing? Trim friendly settings for Avonia. Okay. Then let's build it again. Trimming these files out. R-RF is trying to use a Linux command. That's cute. Not Linux. Yeah, you're gonna have to clean it. Yes, there you go. That's funny. All right, let's try it now. F# mentioned it's apparently like OCaml. I would learn it more than C#. Phoenix, I'm kind of with you on that. As I look more at the code, look how readable the F# code is compared to C#. It's insane. Like the services F# file, look at this. This is so cool. Here, I'm gonna just look how readable it is. That looks beautiful, does it not? I mean, except for this right here. Yeah, it's like machine garbage, but I mean, compared to Rust, oh my God. I mean, doesn't that look good? I mean, from a code perspective, that's pretty clean. Yeah. Basic functional programming. It's exactly right, Dork. I love saying your name, too. It's great. All right, great. So now we got a self-contained binary. Let's see. It's 64-bit. Okay, great. And we do a publish of our 64-bit binary. It looks like the trim worked as well, which is fantastic. God, I think I've fallen in love with F# though. After this, I'm just like, I want to learn everything I can about it. I'm currently running Racket, so anything seems better than that garbage. Oh, look at that. All right. All right, so it's trimming, it's self-contained, it's publishing a singular file. So the next thing, God, this looks cool. All right, let's see if it runs though. All right, let's back out. Yeah, let's just refresh. How you refresh in Finder? F5? Maybe it just automatically does it. Okay. So here is the self-contained files. We'll just run that. Perfect. It's running, but it's still looking for the scripts directory. So some changes need to be made there. Probably. Let me see what do you think they'll say about combining those scripts? Let's take that out. Now, from we're actually going to change the theming and stuff out. This is fine for the starter though. What about? Yeah, I also want to run this outside of it real fast too. So if we do a publish here, I'm kind of curious. So the GUI is set to there, and then I think it does a copy at the end to push it to the dist folder. Yeah. So then it copies those binaries back to here. That looks really, really good. Let's. Stupid DS store files. I hate you, Finder, with a passion. Hope you die. Sorry. Yeah, we're just gonna add it to git ignore. Agreed. Crashes. Thumbs database from Windows. Those are all. It's not necessarily macOS when you're adding Thumbs DB, but same thing, just Windows. Windows thumbnail cache, trash folder, Spotlight search index, double files. Apple double files. It saves all your files double for you. Isn't that sweet? Sure, not for nefarious purposes. It's probably like Copilot, but Appleized. It's a security, it's a feature, not a bug. All right. Sorry, I'll put my tinfoil hat away. Let's go. Now, let's save that. Come back. Great. Perfect. We got that. We got our publish. Single binary publish. Great. Push. All right. That's a pretty good spot. And then for this one, oh, we're cooking hard here today. This is just amazing. Oh my God. And I didn't even have to open up Visual Studio Community Edition once. Oh, Visual Studio CE can suck it. I hate it so much. I don't know why I have an irrational hate for Community Edition, but I do. And I don't even know if does F Sharp really... it sure looks like the same structure, so I'm sure it does work on Community Edition. But, yeah. Yeah. I really hate Visual Studio CE, man. It's awful. Let's see. What methods can we do to include the scripts folder and .sh files in the single binary? What are we thinking? Looking at your F# configuration, you've already set it up to create a self-contained file. To include the scripts folder in the .sh file, you need to have several methods. You could include scripts as embedded resources. Boom, so you just add the scripts in there as an embedded resource. Well, I like that method. That seems pretty straightforward. So that's the first one. Second one, content files. If you prefer content files that get copied to output, you could do this and output it to a directory. No, that wouldn't work. Most Mac users are going to want them all self-contained, and Apple would want them that way too. None items with copy to output directory. Again, same issue. Accessing. Can use. Okay. Additional configuration for single file. Files are embedded directly into assembly, works perfectly with single file publishing, no external file dependencies at runtime, maintains folder structure and resource names, compatible with existing trimming and compression settings. So it's literally just 4 files? It can't be that easy. I mean, it'd be kind of cool. Let's do another publish. I get hating Visual Studio CE. My confusion is my hate is equal to or more for non-CE. Oh, you like just make me some NeoVim too. Just not very good at NeoVim, as we've seen. Although I do like my NeoVim setup. You know, I did do some changes to it. Lazy. Did I already update all these? Okay, that worked. Check health. Let's see. Image clip. Oh, I need to change image clip to PNG paste. When we update that, I keep forgetting about that. Lua rocks. Okay. Not like into the world. Probably a couple extensions I can't use for that. I will say Ghosty, man, they do such a good job with inserting like these high def icons. Man, it's such a little thing, but I really like it. All right, yeah, no, that looks good. Cool. Yeah, NeoVim's looking good. So our NeoVim environment is actually set up relatively well. All right, let's test this. So we're gonna see if this self-contained. I'm not gonna do a commit of that yet until we actually test it. Let's go into our GitHub. We're gonna go into MacUtil. We're gonna go into GUI and our distribution. You can see this one at 620. Holy crap! It's already 6:30. All right. Okay. Yeah, that didn't work. I didn't think it would. I was like, man, that would be so cool if it did. Let's just take this, copy it, close that, and we're gonna accept this. Here is output from binary run. Let's go here. I got you. Do NeoVim and Tmux. This is my surprise face. So you do not have to publish or build again. Yeah, you do have to publish and build again. Did I not publish it? I thought I ran the publish command. I could be wrong. So it's wanting to change services right here. Yeah, like if we're using embedded resources, why all of this? Okay, here's embedded resources. So we're adding that. No, there shouldn't be a fallback. This fallback's a little flawed. Well, no, if you do a .NET run. Well, let me see. Is there any purpose of a fallback if we are embedding them every time? Even using .NET run, the embed still happens. So why even have none as a fallback? Doesn't make any sense. If we're embedding the resources every time during build, which happens when you do a .NET run, then none fallback cases are unnecessary and potentially misleading. The embedded resources should always be available. Let's clean up the code and remove unnecessary fallbacks. Yeah, that makes more sense to me. Next thing is to build an automatic Kubernetes deployment base on the web. Mafia, don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. We've only been streaming for 2 hours and look how much we've gotten done. I am a god. Ah! And then tomorrow I probably won't even be able to edit a bash file. But man, today, this feels pretty good. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy. This is, it's pretty great. So anyways, we should see all these else's, get rid of. Found, okay, great. That makes more sense to me. That's great. All right, that's fine. So switching everything to embedded resources seems like a smart play. So what I said earlier is not necessarily true now, but it's the way to go for distribution. Nobody wants to have a whole bunch of scattered files for one program. Check other files for old references and make sure everything is using embedded resources. Just going through it all. Man, this is done so well. Let's see what it finds. Everything's already using embedded resources correctly. Toml parser.fs unused. Okay, well then remove it. Okay. All right, keep it. So now we've gone full there. Let's do practice build. Make sure we didn't just nuke it all. I joke, but not really. I've seen it happen. .NET build. Yeah, see. Line 1, position 25. Alright, we did. I must have fat fingered something on line 1. Microsoft. Alright, yeah, let's fix that, shall we? Okay. What's going on here? What changed? Ooh, wait, what? What's the item group? Oh, did I only do that? Seriously, vibe coding feels more like maybe. Well, considering we had nothing 2 hours ago and we already have a fully functional program, it's kind of insane. Well, for the most part. Tech debt is a real thing, for sure. The big thing is removing redundancy, cleaning it up. It's getting better. I think we can all agree on that. Yeah. That's fine. I wonder why I added all these groups. But yeah, let's try it. Yeah. And then this. Double check. This is the embeds and everything that's happening. And now let's do the build. And we got rid of the TOML parser. Alright, so coming back. Let's do build. Ah. Alright, what do we got? Yeah, we already had a Rust one, so we just got rid of it all. Okay, so I didn't think that seemed right to me. Alright, great. Let's keep that. Let's go here. Alright, we're good. Try our build. Success. Yeah, we were just in the wrong directory. Gotcha. Resources didn't load. Okay. Well, we still got some issues there. That's pretty funny. Yeah. All right, let's fix the resource path issue. It looks like there was a resource path. Let's see what it fixed. Ah, okay. Let's try that again. Nope. Let's look at the error here. So available resources. Huh. Okay. So we've got these changes. That looks pretty straightforward. It's cleaning up some remnants from that. Alright, great. Let's keep that. Nope. No love. All right, it's looking for hyphens because the resource names changed from the default. Let's see what that looks like. So before is doing hyphens to underscore. Okay. So when you're not using an embedded resource, it uses a hyphen instead of the underscore. Okay. Now we have the application running. And it looks like it's successfully mapped. Let's do GitHub desktop, run the script. All right, so then we have another issue on the actual run. I wonder. Nah. When running the scripts, we run into this one issue. So let's see. Yeah, we're trying to install something. I just want to see. We should see it say this is already installed from Brew. Get just the file name, not the full path. When creating the temporary file, it uses the original script file name, which includes the directory path. But the temp directory can't create nested folders automatically. Let's fix this by only using the script file name without the directory path for the temporary file. Okay. Let's see if it runs. Oh, got a CD. Yeah. Okay. And if we click that. Well, hold on. It didn't. I don't know. That's not quite. Let's verify. We should see homebrew. Okay, updating outdated package, downloading app, backing up, removing, unlinking binary. GitHub was installed successfully. Errors. Common script. Oh, crap. Because we were using common script for that, for checking the environment. That's not necessarily correct. So that's another thing I didn't even think about. Now it's the scripts themselves. So since it's using embedded resources, we're going to have to do this differently. Maybe we create a function to pull in the common script on compile time so we can still use it for adding extra scripts without having to bloat up all the scripts. But when it compiles, it adds the common script into it. Oh, that's a whole different bag of worms. But let's first see if it actually works independently on a publish. I think that'll work though. So let's go to dist. Actually, let's publish first. Yeah, we're gonna try to install this real fast. I'm gonna use GitHub Desktop because the reference to common script using the scripts won't pull those in because it won't have access to embedded resources in a temp directory. So we're gonna have to figure out during compile time to fix that. But overall, I think this should technically work. Maybe, just maybe. So now we have this, and we go macutil, GUI, dist, macutil silicon. All right. So then we have the script runner here. So we're going to scroll, GitHub Desktop, right? So when I click this, we're going to see a couple errors in the terminal up here. We'll also see the script output over here behind my head. It should just mirror the terminal. And I anticipate it erroring on check environment and a few other checks. Those are safety checks, which I already know will pass, but they will error. And it should still say GitHub Desktop's there and we're upgrading it, or it's already installed. So we'll go run. And what we got here, you can see installed it successfully, but we do have errors with line 3 of the sh script when it's trying to reference common script, and then also any references to check environment. Brew program exists, which both of these are in the common script. So all that's actually pretty good. Now, if let's install Zed, something that's not on the system. Now, we'll still get those same errors, but technically it should still just run the brew command and install Zed. Unless it has an interactive prompt. I think I gotta rethink the output. Because we have no reference. It's gonna wait till it finishes to give us output. Now, probably still worked. Yeah, it said it installed, and then we got our common script errors. But oh no more. All right. But it's self-contained. It's a singular binary, and those embedded. And there's our Z. There's welcome to Z. Okay. Pretty good. Getting rid of all of that. Embedded resources. It's working so well. We just got to change the scripts around. Embedded scripts in binary. Scripts need to be changed or compiled, or common script needs to be compiled. So the reference to common script or its functions are baked in. Cool. I think that's pretty cool. It's time to change my furnace filter. Good to know. Thanks, Apple. They know everything. All right, guys. What do you think about all that? I really like this build better than the Rust. And frankly, I am absolutely falling in love with F#. I think there's really something there. And the syntax and everything, man, it looks so beautiful to me. Yeah, I think it's going to be great. We got to work on the theme. Let's bullet point this before I forget. So let's do. Let's add it into our file here. Let's go README. README. Great. Heavy. We'll just put. Some people won't know what whip is. Let's go development. Heavy development. First up, make a theme that looks good. Second up, fix references to common script or compile common script functions into the scripts. Look at creating or installing a package into applications. Or other methods like copying to home.local.bin. Yeah, I feel like those are good. Any other big development that we should work on for the future? Not enough curly braces. Nobody likes curly braces. You wrote the twice. What's that? Did make them look good, fix references to there or common scripts into the scripts. Look at creating or installing a package or methods like copying to. Does into the scripts. Into the scripts. Where's that? Oh. Fix references to common script or compile common script functions into the scripts. Like get a little more specific. Not a bad idea. Yeah, to the. Oh yeah. God bless. You know me. I failed English class, guys. No, I don't know a second language. I'm just bad at English. Okay. Trying to think of other things from a development standpoint. So we got the framework kind of built out, fixed common script, maybe look at a full install, either directly the binary into like a local bin type situation, or put it directly in applications. That's possible. Make a good theme. God, I feel like there's something else we're missing. It's on the tip of my tongue. I was just looking at my project and I was like, God, it also needs this one thing. And I was just zoning out, losing it. Yeah, thanks, Aqua. Maybe security. I don't think it was anything with security. Trying to think if there was. Oh, I remember now. More real-time verbose output of script execution. Right now, it only shows output after the script has finished executing. So that's a big thing. We need real-time verbose output of script execution. Because right now, it's just like, people will be like, wait, is it running? I clicked it, but it is not showing. And we need, like, it'll just say installing, and then it's like, it waits for the whole installation to happen. Which if it's like a little tiny file, that's fine, but think of installing like a huge like lamp stack or something that you'd do on Mac that would be big and take a little bit of time. That script would just sit there and churn for 4 or 5 minutes, and Homebrew's already slow as balls. So it's kind of like, we need real-time output. So that's another thing. So those are probably the big 4 things I can think of off the top of my head to get there. Overall, we're going to overwrite the whole Rust, wipe out all that. We're going to go full embedded. We're going to go directly into F# for everything, dump all the Rust, and I kind of like it. I feel like this is a happy accident, to quote the great Bob Ross. Just a fun stumbling on. I think chat was like F#, and we were looking for obscure languages. And then as I pulled it up, I was like, well, this looks like a better version of C#. And as we started hacking around on the AI, and just trying to get a good boilerplate, I mean, it did actually a good job, which that's the first time that's ever happened. What is the model directory? Mahi for .NET. Dork, I was kind of thinking instead of Mahi, I'm not a huge fan of the Mahi design. Like if you look at probably WinUI 3 would be a little more apparent. Although I don't know how well this would work on Mac, but it's essentially what would make. I don't know. I like the WinUI 3 design a little better. Looking at the Mahi design, this last time I checked it, it just seems a little dated. So this is the Mahi design, and then if we look at the WinUI 3 design, let me pull up the gallery here. Can you give me an example? Of course not. Typical Microsoft. Use socket documentation. Samples. All right. AI sample. No. Just basic. Just utterly defeated right now. Okay. Give me the gallery. Oh my god. Okay. Shows usage. Okay, just give me. Is there just sample? Just give me a sample. Oh fucking hell. Whatever. WinUI 3 is kind of what I wanted to try. It's still relatively up to date, and I think it looks a little more modern than using Mahi. Anyways, that's kind of like another thing we could branch out and try. But yeah. What would you use, Phoenix? We're using .NET. I know you. I see you behind that screen. I know you're about to do something. But what would it be? Just to hear you out before I say no. Microsoft, what are screenshots? This is true. It's like, oh, you. I feel like that BlizzCon, like the response. Y'all have Copilot installed, don't you? Y'all have Recall installed, don't you? It takes screenshots of everything. Let's see. Creating a cross-platform desktop app in .NET Core distribution for Mac. Okay, well, this we need to bookmark. Let's put that in projects before I lose it. Main problem lies in the fact of a majority of tutorials rely on Xcode. However, Xcode is a very broken tool with change at every release with new bugs. God, that's true. Not only this, but you have to do manual steps to distribute your app. You want to process and integrate it through CI. A simple git tag should be enough to create a new release. Distributing for Mac has been quite frustrating, and now it is done and scripted and it works reliably, and I hope you will just use what I did. Yes, I will steal it from you. I will totally. Nicholas? Yes, 100%. Now, this is from 2009, so this is 6 years old. But all that still holds true today. You can't do everything via Docker at this one point. You need Mac utils, time consuming to debug. If you don't have a Mac, we could probably, honestly, for the build and everything, I could probably just set up like a... Well, I have my Xeon Linux box down here. We'll just shoot it over there and compile it there. I don't see an issue with that. But as far as distribution, as long as it works. Generating a .ds store project. Why do you need DS store? That's... I told everybody to just delete DS store. Well, I thought that just... God bless. People are going to be yelling at me tomorrow for this, aren't they? What's DS store do? Is there another function to DS store? Storing custom attributes for the folder's view settings. That's what I thought. Screw the view settings. Just use the defaults. Yeah. You can delete it. However, macOS will recreate it the next time you view this folder. Yeah, I know. Unless you set it to not to. You can do that as well. Okay. Developers often add DS store to get ignore files. Yep. Just did that today. Sysadmins may disable its creation on network volumes. Yes, we do, because it's stupid and Mac shouldn't do that. Let me know what you want to... Okay, that's fine. All right, cool. As long as I'm not misunderstanding DS store, I was like, why would you create that? But I guess if you want it to look a certain way... Oh, shit. You got to get a developer ID. This requires a trusted device to complete, which we do. That's fine. You need a developer certificate, which costs about $100 a year. Okay. Thanks, God. The process is not complicated. Okay, that's good. Preparing the DMG. Here's the folder for full Mac deployment I created. You have a Docker file, titleman's plist, info plist. For metadata, the DDS store, background, FS event, create tar file and structure. We'll list the right. That's kind of cool. So this is essentially making a full-blown application for Mac. Cool. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to read this offline. That is very, very cool, though. I think I will partake in figuring out all that. Or maybe we just pick it up tomorrow. My brain's kind of mush right now. I'm not lying. Very, very good. I appreciate the link, though, there, Dork. Kind of giving me some homework. I'm going to skim through that and probably go ahead and buy the Mac license as well. Get that done. Chris is a walking boomer time machine. 2009 was yesterday, damn it, Alex. Don't you tell me different. I remember where I was in 2009. Just started working my cush office job that I still have and love. It's good. It was a good year. My daughter wasn't born yet. Still a year or two away from that. Yeah, and I just got married. 2009 was a good year. Oh. Wait. Image GUI. I've used Image GUI, usually with Lua projects, though. Image... This hasn't been updated in 4 years. What archaic business are you giving me? It has 26 stars. Bro. Come on now. What? Phoenix, you're just trolling me at this point. Although I might try that. It does look like a base, really easy library. For certain things, I might use it. That's not that bad. Image GUI is actually really a straightforward interface. So, that's not awful. It just doesn't have the flash. If I was making an app for Linux, I think that would work just fine. Linux users would be totally okay with this. Mac users, not so much. Just being honest. But, I mean, image GUI is all over the place. I do like it. It's very simple. Yeah, it's not getting any easier than that. I think that's good. I think that's a good starting spot, too, Phoenix. But I kind of want to just jump and shoot for the stars and see what happens. I just want to, like, go, hey, I want the most beautiful looking app ever. With fireworks and cool things. I want some liquid ass all over the screen. It's going to be amazing. Hot take. I don't think WinUtil has the flash. No. WinUtil was using straight WPF, and a lot of people don't realize WinUtil's a script, not an application. So people don't realize what it's doing in the background. It is. I had a PR the other day on WinUtil where the guy was like, hey, if you do dynamic loading of this will be so much faster. And I'm like, bro, like, we're compiling this into a singular script that's getting run millions of times per year around the world. And people aren't accessing or have access to any of these files. They're literally just having access to the one file to run. And the GUI that people see is being built in real time from PowerShell, essentially. And yeah, it's not, there is no, like, it's a script at the end of the day, where what we're doing over here is completely different. Same with LinUtil too. Linux utility is Rust based and it's completely compiled. So with compiled programs, sky's the limit. Like there's just no ceiling. Like with Windows utility, man, we've done so much with that. I don't know what else I can do. I mean, I think it's just maintaining it at this point and then just slowly adding maybe some quality of life as Microsoft screws more stuff up and just kind of keeping it. But as far as adding like Flash and things like that, not sure what else we could do other than maybe a library import on the script, but then we add load time and there's just a lot of consideration there. So yeah. Yeah, and honestly, as long as it works, that's the thing. As long as it works, that's the big. It has to work well. I don't care what it is; it just needs to work and work well. That's the big thing. Yeah, the medium link's a bit outdated, but I think it'll get us to where we need to go. Oh, it'll only work on, I think, Intel. Avalon UI has better docs. Okay. I'll look at Avalon UI for the better docs. I'll probably use that medium link just to kind of get a baseline of what I need to do. And oh, that is more pretty. All right, let's add that too. Couldn't hurt to have both. I'm gonna research both those. The plan for the stream today is raid somebody. Where are we going? Who are we raiding? That is the question, because we are done. It is time to drop YouTube